here with Reese Lavell again, and this time we're going to discuss your unique approach to marketing. You know, one of the things that's different about Full Cool Ranches is that you really take into consideration, the privacy and discretion of your clients, which I think is a big difference maker. And your approach is completely different than what people might expect, but I think the underlying principles behind that are really good. So would you share with us what you call the thing behind the thing?
Yeah, absolutely. For starters, I'm different than what you might expect. So we're just going to lean into that. But yeah, it's one thing that is a standout in the marketplace is the difference between promoting yourself and promoting the property. Let's say the truck branding and the UTV branding and the trailers and all the stuff where it's like your brand is smeared all over the side of it, whatever. It's not so much that I have an issue with. It's the principle behind it, and it's this overweighted self promotion that I get it. I get why you need to do it. I get why you need to be out there and you need to get brand recognition. I get all those things, and it is a good business model to have. And mine may be dumb, but it's I want to promote the property over me. I want the client to leverage me to promote them, not the other way around. And I see it so much the other way around where they're leveraging the ranch for their self-promotion and so they can go get more clients and they can go sell more deals. They're not focused on selling that deal. They're focused on this volume to go sell lots of deals. And so that's what I mean by the principle behind the thing. The thing isn't really the problem for me. It's the why you're doing the thing. And just like with a yard sign, listen, you got a big, beautiful ranch. The last thing I want to do is taint it with some tacky ass yard sign. And you're like, and I know I'm going to get comments on this video that are going to be like, well, I sold this property off a sign. And how are you going to let neighbors know? Listen, I can't make decisions off your one-offs. And there are far better ways of letting your neighbors know that you're for sale that are far more personal and intentional and successful than just happening by your yard sign and having it on the front of your ranch. And so not doing that. Not doing the branded trucks, the UTVs or the trailers. I have no interest in leveraging your privacy and your values toward privacy just for my self-promotion. That way there's not an instance where I roll into the property and your neighbor says, oh, looks like Joe Smo over here is going to put his property up for sale. Because clearly, they see the truck and the trailer go on the property. Not interested in that. If it means less promotion for me, less business for me, whatever it is, I would rather protect that seller's privacy than to leverage that for my self-promotion. And we really built the website and we built everything that way. Like, for example, you'll go onto a listing, and usually the broker information's at the top. It like pops up. It like gets in the way of you trying to read or
Right.
look at the photos or the property. I intentionally instructed when we were constructing the layout of that, I'm at the bottom. Like everything else, the ranch is on top. I'm least important. If they want to get a hold of me, it is not hard to find my contact information on the website. It's everywhere. So why do I need to just take up more real estate at the top of the listing page, And then two, there's a lot of sellers out there who are just like, listen, I would be interested in selling. I don't want the drama of putting it online. I don't want the drama of this public, facing and these showings and all these things. I don't want that. I do want to sell, but is there a way to do it where we're not just like putting all my stuff out there? And I've built the website where, yeah, there is a way. I can put it on as let's talk about it. There could be a hybrid way of doing it where it's maybe something between off market and on market. But if you want to go full off market, I've got the ability to put that in that comes up in the client portal where you only exclusive and vetted clients of Full Cool Ranches can see it. And so there's all these different ways of doing things that really I haven't seen much availability to in the ranch space that prioritizes these kind of values that landowners have. And oftentimes it's the large landowners. They don't want their name out there. And if you get to the end of a transaction as a client of mine and you say, hey, Reese, I really don't want you posting about the sale of the ranch. I really don't want to have the sale price out there. I really don't want to have all these things. You've got all these reservations. Yeah, no problem. You don't want me to do that? I'll just mark it as closed on the website and call it good. If you don't even want the listing price on it for the online listed property, it can just say contact for price. Listen, I'm for you. I'm for your needs, your values. That's what I'm here for. Not for me, not to go promote myself,
Right.
not to go out there and have my brand everywhere. I am for you and for making sure that whatever I do benefits to your interest and your needs.
I think that's good. I mean, not to disrespect or be rude to anyone that's doing this a more traditional way, but I think sometimes, just from our perspective as a media company, what we see in the real estate world in general is that typical marketing approach of giant billboards, your face on the side of a truck, signs everywhere, cards everywhere. I got more realtor pens and business cards and flyers than I know what to do with, and I get more every day. It feels like to work that way, you almost have to become an influencer. You know what I mean? You almost have to be a personality and build a brand around yourself, which sounds like what you're saying is this is just the opposite. You're focused on the process. You're focused on the service that you're offering your clients and the actual object of the transaction itself, which is the ranch, right? And to have a happy buyer and a happy seller. And I mean, it's a principle as old as time in business, but it makes perfect sense in this context that if you do the work well, and the results speak for themselves, you're not going to have to worry about having that face recognition and that brand kind of cult of personality that gets built around you.
Right. And that's great that you say that because there's a saying I have, and that's let your work do the work. And what I mean by that is let the things that you do be the promotion for that work. Where I don't have to go out and try to raise the flag on every single thing about the company or me or whatever it is, but that the work product itself speaks for itself. And yeah, listen, I'm the same way. I'm not going to try to play down other brokerages that do these things, just because I get it. I do. I mean, we're doing this podcast. We're doing this video now, so clearly, there's got to be some level of talking about the company or whatever it is. But it's not going to be overweighted to the broker. It's going to be, if anything, overweighted toward the property and what the actual product is that we're facilitating for the client. And so, listen, it may be a terrible business model, but I don't really care. This is what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to handle it. And I believe that when somebody's watching this video is going to feel like, wow, somebody actually understands me and my needs and can facilitate those.